I am Robin Warner, an experienced engineer and magazine editor, and I am driving the 2021 Nissan Kicks SR. Now this is a new from the dealer crossover SUV that starts at only $20,650. That's $1,745 less than the cheapest Honda crossover, the HR-V. And that makes this car less expensive than many late model used SUVs on the market. But before I get too far, let me tell you a little bit more about just what the Nissan Kicks is. Even though Nissan calls it a crossover SUV, the government classifies the Kicks as a mid-size car that seats 5. The Kicks SR is the top of 3 trims above S and SV models, which means it includes a leather-wrapped steering wheel, a rear spoiler, and LED low-beam headlights. More importantly, it is powered by a 1.6-liter inline-4 engine producing a peak output of 122 horsepower and 114 pound-feet of torque. Monster numbers. That power then goes through a continuously variable transmission and onto the front wheels. As I already stated, the base price for the 2021 Nissan Kicks is $20,650. A Kicks SR starts at $23,090, and my test car costs $24,540. For those that are interested, I included detailed specifications, including dimensions and capacities, in the description. So here is the 2021 Nissan Kicks SR. It is updated for 2021, which means it's got some styling updates, including the double V-Motion grille, because a single V-Motion grille is no longer good enough. This particular Kicks also has two-tone paint. The main paint is deep blue pearl, but then the upper bits of the body as well as the roof is what Nissan calls super black. And so it has a nice little look to it. They call it a floating roof. I call it, reasonable. Being an SR, we also have 17-inch aluminum wheels and disc brakes on both the front and the back axle. More on that in a minute. Generally, the shape is pretty common for a small crossover SUV, and there's nothing wrong with it. I like the subtle rear spoiler that's in back, and I think the shape of it's just fine. It is pretty low by SUV standards at 63.4 inches tall, but there's a lot of space inside. And you know what? Let's take a look inside. All right. This is not a big car. In fact, it's under 70 inches wide, which is pretty rare. That is a charcoal interior, but it's got some nice features. This is the SR, and moreover, it's the SR with the premium package, which means I get heated seats and, my favorite thing for this time of year, a heated steering wheel. Oh yeah. Going inside, pretty straightforward interior here, but it's well laid out. That is an 8-inch center console screen, touch screen, and a good amount of features: automatic climate control, push button start, and all that kind of stuff. You get these interesting cup holders here because look at that, they flip and become super deep cup holders. If you have, I don't know, super tall bottles of Evian or something. You also get what Nissan calls bottle holders in each of the doors. It's pretty nice. This is, a well laid out, nice interior. It's not a big car. It's under 170 inches long, but you got a decent amount of space front and back. More charge ports, which are important. And also, really, that's a healthy amount of cargo space inside as well for such a small car. So ergonomics wise and packaging wise, Nissan did a really good job here. So Nissan first introduced the Kicks in 2018, and now for 2021 they're updating this car. It's getting some minor styling changes, things like that. So it's got that updated V-Motion grille, now double V-Motion grille. It's got some new design wheels. It's got some different paint color options, and they've also changed what the standard features are. You know, that includes safety stuff like, you know, driver aids, stuff like that, and features, you know, standard Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, a standard 7-inch touchscreen for the center console, and an available 8-inch one on SV and SR models, which is what this is. And you can see, based on what Nissan is offering as standard and what the price is, the kind of buyer that Nissan is trying to entice. This car has standard automatic high beams, standard smartphone connectivity. It has 3 USB ports standard, 4 cup holders, and 4 bottle holders standard, things like that. But it does not have rear disc brakes standard. If you buy a Nissan Kicks S, that $20,650 model, you get rear drum brakes. And on top of that, an independent rear suspension isn't even available. This is a strut front suspension, twist beam rear suspension, which is a simple solid rear axle rear suspension for cars that are not rear wheel drive. And it's not, there's nothing wrong with that, but it is not the most sophisticated suspension you can get on the market, not even close. And that just shows you that this car has a lot of things for a lot of people, but it is not aimed at the die-hard driving enthusiast. And frankly, that shows while you drive it. While nothing feels wrong when you drive it, it feels competent behind the wheel. You get, you know, reasonable reactions to your inputs and things like that. But it certainly isn't engaging. You don't have much of any feel to work with. You have very low levels of grip. The front end is pretty slow to respond to things, and you get a lot of body roll and a lot of pitch and dive when you get on the brakes and accelerate and things like that. And obviously this isn't the most exhilarating powertrain either. You know, 122 horsepower, 114 pound-feet of torque, tied to a continuously variable transmission. Those things just don't add up to, you know, car enthusiast awesomeness, right? You know, it goes, it gets along fine. It certainly gets out of its own way. But it's pretty loud about it, pretty coarse about it, and it's not terribly fast either. Furthermore, you have 61% of the weight of this car over the front axle, and so it's a pretty lopsided car balance on top of everything else. The ride is fine. There's nothing wrong with the ride. It's not terribly comfortable, but it's not punishing in every way. But there are moments where if you go over like sharp heaves in the road, like breaks in the road, you'll get a little bit of a jarring motion, partially because you don't have an independent rear axle to help balance the tires. But again, that gets wholly away from the purpose of this car. This car is less expensive than most of its competitors and has a lot of features. Plus, there is actually a benefit to it being a twist beam rear axle. You get 93 cubic feet of space in the cabin, which is darn decent for such a small car, and 23 or 24 even cubic feet of space in the cargo. So you get a lot of space in this tight little package. So that means you can pack friends and stuff in this thing and go places and do things and have a good time. Come on, let's go. Go, 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 go. I mean, okay, I'm joking around, but it's really not bad. You can get 0 to 60 in a reasonable amount of time. It's not a sports car in any kind of way, but it's not pretending to be a sports car in any kind of way. It's a small yet spacious, efficiently used package for stuff and people. And it does a good job. And you get a lot of features in here. You have a lot of USB ports to charge yours and your friends' smart devices. You've got, for under 25 grand, heated steering wheel, heated seats, and, you know, a decent infotainment system. And you've got a lot of stuff like automatic high beams. It was not long ago that was, pretty luxury level item, and it was optional. And for a lot of people, it still is optional for luxury, and it's standard here. So Nissan didn't build this car for enthusiasts. They built it for parents of young adults that want their kids to have a car that has enough cool features and tech to keep them happy and enough safety to keep them alive. We've got a lot of airbags in here. We've got a lot of passive safety systems and active safety systems, automatic emergency braking, obviously backup assist, things like that. And adaptive cruise control is available on SV and SR models. And the automatic high beams help too. All those kinds of things to help make this car pretty safe for the size and price point it is, and have that cool tech that makes a road trip with your friends or your daily commute more palatable, right? And I really appreciate how much space you get in such a small footprint, and I really appreciate having things like automatic high beams and heated seats and heated steering wheel for under 25 grand out the door. That's pretty impressive. Nissan built a great car for a lot of people that want to do a lot of different things. They just did not build it for the enthusiast. And, that's okay. I'm going to turn on Apple CarPlay, listen to some podcasts, have some nice warm hands, and enjoy a little bit more driving. I'm Robin Warner. Thank you for watching.